but your breathing slow. The night is kind tonight. Nothing needs to be solved. Nothing needs to be rushed. Just listen and drift. The city was New York, but not the loud New York everyone talks about. This was the quiet New York, the one that comes out only after midnight, when the taxis hum instead of honk, when the buildings stretch and sigh, and when the city that never sleeps finally closes one eye. Finn and Jake stood on a rooftop in Manhattan, wrapped in a soft blue moonlight that made everything feel slower, safer. Finn adjusted his familiar white hat, the edges fluttering gently in the breeze. He didn't feel scared. He felt curious. The calm kind of curious, like when you're half asleep and wondering where dreams come from. Jake, already loaf-shaped and relaxed, let out a long, happy sigh. "Man," Jake murmured, and voice low and stretchy. "This city's got a vibe, like spooky cozy." Finn smiled. "Yeah, like it's trying not to wake anyone up." Below them, the streets glowed softly, street lamps blinking like tired stars. Somewhere far away, a subway rumbled, deep and slow, like the city breathing in its sleep. They hadn't planned to come here. One moment they were walking through a quiet forest path back home. The next, whoosh, a strange door made of moonlight opened between two trees. The door didn't creak or glow dramatically. It simply waited. And Finn, being Finn, stepped through. Jake followed, of course. Now they were here. New York. But quieter than it had ever been. "Feels like the city's holding a secret," Finn whispered. Jake nodded, eyes half closed. "Yeah, a good secret. Like warm pizza saved for later." They climbed down the fire escape slowly, metal cool beneath their hands. Every sound felt softened, as if wrapped in blankets. On the sidewalk, their footsteps made gentle echoes that faded quickly, like the city didn't want to remember noise for too long. A stray cat watched them from a doorway, eyes glowing gold. But instead of running away, it yawned and went back to sleep. Finn laughed softly. "Guess we're not intruding." They walked without a map, letting the streets guide them. The buildings leaned slightly inward, as if listening. Old brick walls carried stories, whispers of laughter, footsteps from years ago, quiet dreams still tucked inside apartments. Jake stretched his arm and gently touched a lamppost. It was warm. "Huh," Jake said. "These lights aren't just lights. They're keeping the city comfy." Finn rested against the post for a moment, feeling that warmth settle into his bones, like night guardians. They continued on. A breeze carried the smell of rain and distant pizza, and something sweet, like cotton candy. Finn felt his eyelids growing heavy, but he stayed awake, because some nights are meant to be remembered, even softly. As they turned a corner, the street opened into a wide avenue. Skyscrapers rose like sleepy giants, windows glowing faintly, some dark, some lit with calm, golden light. Then they heard it, a sound, low, gentle, almost like humming. Jake froze, not in fear, but in attention. "You hear that?" Finn nodded. The sound seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. From the sidewalks, from the buildings, from the spaces between things. They followed it, walking slower now. The humming led them to a small park tucked between tall buildings. Not Central Park, something smaller, older, quieter, a place easy to miss. In the center stood a tree, a very old tree. Its branches were bare but glowing faintly, as if moonlight lived inside its bark. Beneath it sat a figure, transparent, soft-edged, and glowing pale blue. A ghost, but not a scary one. This ghost was knitting. Jake whispered, "Oh man, that ghost got grandma energy." The ghost looked up, smiling gently. "Oh, visitors." Finn raised a hand in a slow wave. Hi. Sorry if we're bothering you." "Not at all," the ghost said, voice like wind through curtains. "I don't get many guests anymore. The city's asleep." Jake plopped down beside Finn, careful but relaxed. "We kinda fell into this place." The ghost nodded. "That happens on quiet nights." She returned to her knitting, long, glowing threads forming something that looked like a blanket made of moonlight. "For who?" Finn asked softly. "For the city," she replied. "It gets cold sometimes. Even cities need comfort." Finn felt something warm in his chest. Not excitement, not fear, just kindness. They sat there listening to the hum. Finn realized the sound wasn't coming from the ghost. It was coming from the city itself. A lullaby. The ghost spoke again. "You should be careful tonight. The city is gentle, but it remembers." Jake tilted his head. "Remembers what?" She smiled sadly. "Lost dreamers. Forgotten places. Things that wander when everyone sleeps." Finn nodded, serious but calm. "We'll be gentle too." The ghost finished her blanket and spread it out, not physically, but emotionally. The park felt warmer, safer. "Go on," she said. "Walk the city. It's been waiting." Finn and Jake stood, thanking her quietly. As they walked away, Finn glanced back. The ghost was gone, but the tree glowed brighter. The humming grew softer, slower, like a heartbeat easing into rest. Jake yawned. "Man, I could sleep anywhere right now." Finn smiled, eyes heavy. "Yeah, but I feel like the city's just getting started." Ahead of them, a subway entrance waited. Dark, quiet, and breathing slowly. And as they approached it, the lights flickered once, gently, like an invitation. Sleepy cuties. The night is still holding them. The city is still watching. And their journey has only just begun. Finn and Jake stood at the top of the subway stairs, looking down into the underground. The entrance didn't feel scary. It felt patient. Warm air drifted upward, carrying the sound they'd been following all night, that deep, steady hum. Down there, the city's heartbeat grew louder, slower, like a giant sleeping animal. Jake stretched and wrapped an arm around Finn's shoulders. "Buddy, if this turns into some kind of creepy dungeon thing, just know I'm emotionally prepared to nap through it." Finn smiled. "I think it's okay. The city hasn't been mean to us." They began walking down. Each step echoed softly, but the echoes faded quickly, as if absorbed by the walls. The tiles were old, cream-colored, cracked, and glowing faintly like they remembered brighter days. At the bottom, the platform waited. No trains rushed by, no crowds pushed past. Just silence and space. A single subway car sat on the tracks, doors open, lights dim but warm. Inside, the seats looked extra soft, like they'd been fluffed just for tired travelers. Jake peeked in. "You think this thing goes somewhere?" Finn felt the pull again, that gentle invitation. "Yeah, somewhere quiet." They stepped inside. The doors closed with a slow, careful shh, not loud enough to disturb the sleeping city. The train began to move. Not fast, not loud. Just a gentle glide forward. As it traveled, Finn noticed something strange. Out the windows, the tunnels weren't dark. They were full of memories. Soft images drifted by like clouds, people laughing on platforms years ago, musicians playing late at night, kids holding hands with parents, sleepy commuters staring out windows just like Finn was now. Jake Jake leaned his head back, eyes half closed. Whoa, this train's like a dream scrapbook. Finn nodded. It's showing us what the city remembers. The hum grew deeper, slower. Finn's eyes felt heavy, but he kept them open, feeling that if he blinked too long, he might drift away entirely. At the far end of the car, someone sat quietly. A conductor. Not human, exactly. Tall and shadowy, wearing an old-fashioned uniform that looked stitched from night itself. His face was calm, featureless but kind. The conductor spoke without turning. "Riders of the quiet hour," he said gently. "Please remain seated. The city is dreaming." Jake whispered, "I like this guy. He's got bedtime story energy." The train slowed. It stopped at a station with no name, just a symbol glowing above the platform. A small crescent moon. They stepped off. The station felt different. The air was warmer, softer. The walls curved gently like they were listening. At the center stood rows of benches, and on each bench sat someone asleep. Not dead, not trapped, just sleeping. People of all ages, wrapped in coats, holding bags, leaning against each other, dreaming peacefully. Finn's voice dropped to a whisper. "Who are they?" The conductor stood beside them now. "Those who couldn't find rest above. The city holds them here until they're ready to wake." Jake blinked slowly. "That's actually really nice." The conductor nodded. "New York doesn't forget its tired ones." Finn felt a gentle ache in his chest, not sadness but understanding. As they walked through the station, the sleepers breathed in rhythm with the hum. The entire place felt like a lullaby given form. Then Finn noticed one bench at the end, empty. A small blanket folded neatly on it. The conductor followed Finn's gaze. "That space is for someone who hasn't arrived yet." Jake swallowed. "You saying, like, us?" The conductor smiled, somehow, even without a face. "Not tonight." The lights dimmed slightly. A soft voice echoed through the station, childlike, humming the same tune Finn had heard earlier, but slower now. From behind a pillar stepped a small figure made of glowing subway dust and starlight. A lost dreamer. They looked like a kid, but faded around the edges as if made of almost memories. Their eyes were tired but hopeful. Finn knelt down. "Hey, you okay?" The dreamer nodded slowly. "I can't find my stop." Jake crouched too, stretching his body to make a comfy seat. "You can hang with us for a bit." The dreamer smiled and sat, leaning into Jake's warm, stretchy side. "I fell asleep on the train," the dreamer whispered. "When I woke up, everything was quiet." Finn felt the city listening. "You're not lost," Finn said gently. "You're just resting." The dreamer's glow brightened a little. The conductor raised a hand. "It's almost time." The train returned, doors opening silently. The dreamer stood calmer now. "Thank you." As they boarded, Finn felt the city shift, as if relieved. The train moved again, carrying them upward. Jake yawned, full body stretch. "Man, this city's got layers." Finn leaned back, eyelids drooping. "Yeah, and it takes care of them." The hum softened. The lights dimmed. Above ground waited. But something else did too. Something old, watching from the rooftops. Patient, curious. And as the train slowed once more, Finn felt it. The city remembering them now. Sleepy cuties. The train glides on. The night stays gentle. And the quiet city continues its dream. The subway train slowed and stopped. The doors opened with a quiet sigh, like the city exhaling. And Finn and Jake stepped back onto the surface, emerging into a neighborhood that felt older than the others. Streets narrow, buildings close together, brick walls layered with time. The night here was thicker, not darker, just deeper. Streetlights glowed amber, casting long, soft shadows that didn't move unless you watched them too closely. Fire escapes curled like iron vines up the sides of buildings, and windows blinked slowly, some awake, most asleep. Jake stretched lazily. Okay. This part of the city feels like it knows a lot. Finn nodded. Yeah, like it's been awake longer than the rest. They walked without hurry. Somewhere above them, something shifted. A quiet scrape, like claws on stone. Finn looked up but saw only rooftops and stars peeking through between buildings. Probably just pigeons, Jake said, though his voice stayed low and calm. They turned a corner. As when they saw it, a bodega. Small, old, open. Its sign flickered softly, letters buzzing but never fully going dark. Inside, warm yellow light spilled onto the sidewalk, cutting through the night like a welcome. Jake sniffed the air. Smells like snacks. And comfort. Finn smiled. Let's go in. A bell chimed gently as they entered. The shelves were stocked with things that didn't quite exist anywhere else. Snacks shaped like memories, drinks labeled almost forgotten, candy that shimmered like dreams just before waking. Behind the counter stood the shopkeeper, tall, cloaked, with eyes like glowing windows late at night. Not scary. Tired. Evening, the shopkeeper said softly. Or morning. Hard to tell these days. Finn waved politely. Hi, is it okay if we're here? The shopkeeper nodded slowly. This place is for wanderers. You qualify. Jake leaned on the counter, already relaxed. You sell sandwiches? The shopkeeper smiled. Only the kind that make you feel safe. He handed Jake something wrapped in paper that hummed faintly. Jake took a bite and sighed. Oh, wow. That tastes like when you fall asleep on the couch and someone puts a blanket on you. Finn chose a small drink that glowed pale blue. When he sipped it, his shoulders loosened, and the noise of the city faded just a bit more. The shopkeeper watched them carefully. You've been noticed. Finn froze, not afraid, just attentive. By who? The lights flickered. By the watcher, the shopkeeper said. The one who walks the rooftops when the city sleeps. Jake swallowed. Is that bad? No, the shopkeeper replied. Not bad, just old, lonely, curious. Outside, a shadow passed over the window. Slow, huge, gentle. Finn felt the same presence from before, the sense of being remembered. He won't hurt you, the shopkeeper continued. But he may follow. Jake shrugged lazily. That's fine. We're pretty chill. They finished their snacks in comfortable silence. As they left, the shopkeeper spoke once more. If you see him, don't run. Just listen. The bell chimed again. Outside, the street felt quieter than before, as if holding its breath. They walked on. Above them, something moved from rooftop to rooftop, barely disturbing the air. Finn didn't look up this time. He trusted the night. They reached an intersection where the streetlights were broken, but moonlight pooled there instead, thick and silver. In the center stood a fire escape ladder lowered to the ground, swaying gently. Jake tilted his head. I wasn't there before. Finn felt the pull again. I think we're supposed to go up. They climbed. The ladder was cool, solid, steady. With every step, the city noise fell away until only the wind remained. They reached the rooftop. The view was wide and breathtaking. Buildings stretching endlessly, lights twinkling like stars that forgot how to sleep. And there, at the edge of the roof stood the Watcher. Tall, long-limbed, made of shadow and moonlight woven together. His eyes glowed softly, not sharp, not threatening, just awake. He turned slowly. Finn's heart beat steady, not fast. The Watcher spoke, a voice deep and low, like wind between buildings. "You walk gently," he said. "The city feels you." Jake waved casually. "Hey, man." The Watcher knelt, bringing his massive form closer to them, careful not to shake the roof. "I guard forgotten paths," he continued. "And tonight, you follow them." Finn nodded. "We're just passing through." The Watcher looked out over the city. "No one ever truly passes through New York. It keeps a piece of you." The hum returned, soft, steady, reassuring. The Watcher extended one long finger and pointed toward the skyline, where fog was beginning to roll in, slow, candy-colored, glowing faintly. "Something stirs," he said, "and it is kind, but lost." Finn felt a gentle responsibility settle on him. Jake yawned, stretching. "Guess we're helping." The Watcher smiled, barely noticeable, but real. Then, as quietly as he appeared, he melted back into shadow, becoming part of the night again. The fog crept closer. Finn sat down, legs dangling over the edge of the building. Jake plopped beside him, already half asleep. The city hummed. The night deepened. And somewhere within that glowing fog, something waited, softly calling, not in fear, but in hope. The fog rolled through the streets like a soft blanket being pulled up over the city. From the rooftop, Finn and Jake watched it glow, pale pinks and blues, like cotton candy dissolving into moonlight. It didn't move with urgency. It drifted. It lingered. It waited. Jake slid down beside Finn, body warm and heavy. "That fog looks friendly." Finn nodded. "Yeah, like it wants to tell us something." They climbed back down, descending into the fog one rung at a time. With each step, the city grew quieter until even their breathing sounded too loud. On the street, the fog wrapped around their ankles, then their knees, then their shoulders. Never cold, never wet. It smelled faintly of sugar and rain. Lights blurred, edges softened. The world felt unfinished in a good way. As they walked, shapes formed within the fog. Old storefronts that no longer existed. Movie theaters with glowing marquees. Diners open at impossible hours. Jake blinked slowly. "This fog's showing us stuff that's gone." Finn touched a passing image, a flickering sign, and felt warmth, not loss. "It's remembering." Ahead, a figure emerged. Small, round, hunched beneath a coat too big for them. A creature. Not human. Not quite anything Finn recognized. Its body looked stitched together from fog itself, eyes glowing softly, like distant streetlights. It turned when it sensed them. "Oh," it said shyly. "You can see me." Finn smiled. "Yeah, we can." The creature relaxed a little. "Good. Most people can't. I've been calling her, but everyone's asleep." Jake crouched, making himself small and non-threatening. "You the one the Watcher mentioned?" The creature nodded. "I'm the fog keeper. I help the city forget gently." Finn tilted his head. "Forget what?" "Things that hurt too much to remember all the time," the fog keeper said. "But tonight, the fog got too thick. I lost my way." The fog pulsed softly around them, reacting to his words. Finn felt the pull again. Not excitement, not danger, just purpose. "We can help," Finn said. The fog keeper's eyes brightened. "Really?" Jake smiled lazily. "Yeah, man. We're good at walking." They followed the fog keeper deeper into the mist. The city became a dreamscape, Stairs leading nowhere, doors opening into old summers, windows glowing with quiet conversations frozen in time. They passed a woman laughing on a stoop, fading as they moved by. A man playing a saxophone that echoed gently before dissolving into mist. None of it felt sad. It felt complete. The fog keeper stopped at a wide intersection where the fog swirled endlessly, confused. "This is where I lost the thread," he said softly. Finn closed his eyes. He listened. Beneath the hum, beneath the fog, beneath everything, he felt the city's heartbeat, steady and kind. "Follow the hum," Finn whispered. The fog keeper listened. The fog shifted. Slowly, carefully, the mist began to thin, flowing back into the streets, settling where it belonged, around lampposts, over rooftops, into alleyways that needed softness. The city sighed. The fog keeper smiled, body glowing brighter. "Thank you." As the fog cleared, the skyline reappeared. Buildings tall and patient, lights blinking like tired eyes finally closing. The fog keeper bowed. "The city will remember you kindly." And then he faded. Not gone, just settled. Finn and Jake stood alone again. The street was normal now. Quiet. Peaceful. Jake stretched, a full-body yawn. "Man, helping cities is exhausting." Finn laughed softly. "Yeah, but good exhausting." They wandered toward a park, the same small one from before. The old tree still glowed. Beneath it lay a soft pile of leaves arranged almost like a bed. Jake didn't hesitate. He flopped down, instantly comfortable. 5-star sleeping spot. Finn lay back too, staring up at the branches and the stars between them. The hum slowed further, like the city drifting into deep sleep. Above them, on a distant rooftop, the watcher stood once more, arms crossed, satisfied. The blanket of night settled. Finn felt his thoughts soften. But somewhere far away, a bell chimed. Slow, deep, calling. Not urgent, just patient. Finn knew without worry that their journey wasn't over yet. But for now, the city rested that Finn woke slowly. Not suddenly, not with alarm, just the gentle sense that the night had turned a page. The leaves beneath him were gone. In their place, snow. Soft, clean, glowing snow falling so slowly, it felt like time itself had slowed to watch it land. Jake lay beside him, already awake, eyes half-lidded, snow collecting on his stretchy belly without melting. "Did winter sneak in?" Jake whispered. Finn sat up, breath puffing softly into the cold air. "I think the city's changing." The park was transformed. Trees wore coats of white. Streetlights shone brighter, their glow refracting through the snowfall like tiny stars. The world felt hushed, not empty, but listening. A bell chimed again. Closer now. Finn stood, brushing snow from his hat. "That sound, it's calling us." Jake rose too, stretching into a long, warm scarf shape before snapping back. "Lead the way, Snow Captain." They followed the bell through streets made quiet by snow. Footprints appeared behind them, then faded, like the city didn't want to hold on to the past for too long. As they walked, Finn noticed figures moving in the distance. Snow creatures, gentle ones, shaped like people, animals, the old buildings formed from the snowfall and memory. They drifted across intersections, nodding politely, never speaking. Jake waved at one shaped like a mailbox. It waved back, then softly collapsed into snow. "Okay," Jake murmured. "This city is extremely polite at night." The bell led them to a bridge. Not the Brooklyn Bridge, not exactly. This one looked older, quieter, narrower, made of stone and iron, dusted thick with snow. Beneath it, dark water flowed slowly, reflecting the city lights, like dreams stretching and blurring. At the center of the bridge stood a figure, tall, wrapped in a long coat of frost and shadow, holding the bell, not threatening, waiting. Finn felt no fear, only respect. "You came," the figure said, a voice soft as snowfall. Jake whispered, "Everyone in this city has a really calming voice." The figure smiled faintly. "I am the keeper of endings." Finn tilted his head. "Endings of what?" "Of nights," the keeper replied. "Of journeys. Of wandering thoughts that need rest." The bell rang once more, slow and deep. "You've helped the city remember," the keeper continued. "Now it must let go." Snow fell heavier, but warmer somehow. Finn felt his body grow lighter. "Does that mean we leave?" Finn asked. The keeper nodded. "Soon." Jake's ears drooped just a little. "I kind of like it here." The keeper looked out over the river. "New York likes you too." He gestured, and the snow creatures gathered along the bridge, silent, glowing faintly, watching with kind eyes. This is the city's way of saying thank you. The keeper rang the bell gently. The snow creatures bowed and dissolved. The snowfall slowed. The bridge lights dimmed. The night began to pale, not into morning yet, but into that soft gray just before it. Finn felt the pull again, but this time it was gentle, leading the way. Jake wrapped an arm around Finn. "Wherever we end up, I'm napping for a week." Finn smiled. "Deal." The keeper stepped aside, clearing the path across the bridge. As Finn and Jake crossed, the city behind them softened, blurred, folded in on itself like a well-loved blanket. At the end of the bridge waited a familiar shape. The moonlight door. The same one from the forest. It stood open, quiet, patient. Finn turned for one last look. On a distant rooftop, the watcher raised a hand in farewell. The old tree in the park glowed faintly. The city hummed, slow, steady, peaceful. Jake yawned. "Think the city will remember us?" Finn nodded. "Yeah, but gently." They stepped through the door. Snowflakes followed them, then vanished. The door closed without a sound. The city slept. But the story wasn't quite done yet. Because some endings are really just soft beginnings. Finn and Jake stepped out of the moonlight door and back into the forest. The trees were exactly where they'd left them. The path curved gently ahead, silvered by moonlight. Cricket sang softly, unhurried. The air smelled like pine and home. It felt like only minutes had passed. But something was different. Finn felt it in his chest, a warmth, steady and calm, like a memory that knows where it belongs. Jake stretched, then flopped onto the grass with a happy grunt. "Okay, that was officially the coziest, spooky adventure we've ever had." Finn sat beside him. "Yeah, it didn't try to scare us." Jake smiled, eyes already drifting shut. "It just wanted us to listen." They lay there together, watching the moon drift slowly across the sky. For a while, neither of them spoke. The hum was still there, but quieter now. No longer the heartbeat of a city, but something smaller, personal, like the rhythm of breathing before sleep. Finn closed his eyes. And for just a moment, he was back in New York. He saw the quiet streets, the glowing fog, the subway humming gently, the old tree in the park. He felt the city fold those memories carefully, like letters saved in a drawer. "You okay, dude?" Jake murmured, barely awake. Finn nodded. Yeah, I think I'll remember it when I need to feel calm. Jake smiled. That's good city power. The forest grew quieter. Stars blinked slowly, one by one, as if turning themselves off for the night. Somewhere far away, a bell chimed, once so faint it might have been imagined. But Finn knew better. The Keeper of Endings had done his work. The night was complete. Jake's breathing deepened, slow and steady. His body warmed the ground beneath him, stretching just enough to make the grass extra soft. Finn felt his own thoughts begin to loosen. No plans, no worries. Just the feeling of having gone somewhere gentle and returned safely. The moonlight door did not reappear. It didn't need to. Some doors stay closed until you need them again. Finn turned onto his side, facing Jake. "Good night, buddy," he whispered. Jake mumbled something unintelligible, smiling in his sleep. The forest held them kindly. And far away, across worlds and dreams, the quiet city that never sleeps rested peacefully, knowing it had been seen and understood. Sleepy cuties, your breathing is slow. The story is complete. You're safe to drift now. At exactly midnight, when New York finally forgot how to rush, the subway tunnels began to breathe. Not loudly, not frighteningly. Just a slow, steady inhale. And a calm, patient exhale. Most people never noticed. They were asleep or dreaming or staring into the dark behind their eyelids. But Finn noticed, because Finn was still awake, sitting on the edge of an empty platform with Jake curled beside him like a warm loaf of bread. "You feel that?" Finn whispered. Jake didn't open his eyes. Tunnel's breathing. Real polite about it, too. The air moved gently through the station, carrying the smell of metal, rain, and something old, but comforting. The lights overhead flickered once, then settled into a soft golden glow. No trains were scheduled this late, yet the tunnel lived on. Finn stood and peered into the darkness. Far down the tracks, the blackness rose and fell, almost like a sleeping chest. "It's like the city's lungs," Finn said. Jake stretched, yawning. "Makes sense. Big city's gotta breathe somewhere." A deep whoosh echoed through the tunnel. Not wind, not sound. More like a sigh of relief. And then, footsteps. Slow, careful, unhurried. From the darkness emerged a figure made of soot and moonlight, edges blurry like steam. It wore an old conductor's hat and carried a lantern that glowed softly blue. "Hey, midnight caretaker." He stopped a few feet away and nodded kindly. "You shouldn't be afraid," he said. "The tunnel only breathes when it's safe." Finn relaxed. Safe from what? The caretaker smiled. From being forgotten. He lifted the lantern and suddenly the tunnel walls shimmered, showing shadows of the past. Late-night musicians playing on platforms long gone. Workers sleeping on last trains. Kids holding hands, half asleep on the way home. "All these moments," the caretaker said gently, "need air." Jake leaned closer to Finn. "That's actually kind of beautiful." The tunnel inhaled again. This time, Finn felt it pull gently at his chest, not stealing breath, but sinking with it. His heartbeat slowed to match the tunnel's rhythm. "You're in tune with it," the caretaker said. "That's rare." Finn felt calm, heavy, safe. The lantern dimmed. "The city will finish breathing soon," the caretaker continued. "When it does, the night will deepen." The lights flickered again. Somewhere far off, a train bell chimed, soft, distant like a lullaby. Jake lay back down immediately. "Wake me when it exhales." Finn sat beside him, watching the tunnel rise. and fall. One last time. The breathing slowed, then stopped. The tunnel slept. The caretaker faded into mist, lantern extinguishing like a candle at bedtime. Finn lay back too, eyes closing, feeling the warmth of the platform beneath him. Above ground, the city dreamed. Below ground, the tunnel rested. And everywhere, the night was kind. Sleepy cuties, the breathing is slowed. The dark is gentle. You can rest now. Finn didn't know how long he lay there on the platform. Time felt different underground, stretched thin, softened, like it was wrapped in cotton. The tunnel no longer breathed loudly, but Finn could still feel its rhythm, faint and steady, echoing through the stone beneath his back. Jake snored softly beside him, each breath perfectly matching the tunnel's last remembered pace. In, out. The lights dimmed again, not dark, just lower, warmer. That's when Finn heard it. A quiet cough. Finn opened his eyes and sat up slowly. At the far end of the platform, where the tiles were cracked, and old signs still showed station names that no longer existed, someone was sitting on a bench. A child. Small. Wrapped in an oversized jacket, feet not touching the ground. They swung their legs back and forth, in perfect rhythm with the tunnel's breathing. Finn stood and approached, steps slow, respectful. "Hey," Finn said softly. "You okay?" The child looked up. Their eyes shimmered like reflected tunnel lights, sleepy but not sad. "I missed my stop," the child said. Finn nodded. "Yeah, that happens." Jake rolled over, eyes half open. "Midnight does that to people." The child smiled faintly. "The tunnel told me to wait." Finn felt a gentle pressure in his chest, not worry, but responsibility. "What does the tunnel want?" Finn asked. The child tilted their head. "It wants to finish breathing." As if on cue, the tunnel exhaled again, longer this time, deeper. Dust drifted from the ceiling like slow snow. The caretaker returned, stepping out of the shadows, lantern glowing dimmer now, like a nightlight close to burnout. "The tunnel is tired," he said. "It's been holding too many dreams tonight." Finn looked around. The walls shimmered faintly. More memories pressed into them than before. Sleepless thoughts, missed trains, last goodbyes whispered too late. "Dreams need somewhere to go," the caretaker continued. "Or the tunnel can't rest." Jake stretched into a long cushion beside the child. "So, we help tuck the dreams in?" The caretaker nodded. The tunnel inhaled. Finn closed his eyes. He thought of calm things, open skies, quiet forests, the sound of someone humming while cooking late at night. He let those thoughts drift outward, not pushing, not forcing, just sharing. The child followed. Jake followed too, breathing slow, steady, safe. The walls responded. The shimmering softened. Dreams settled like blankets, being laid carefully over sleepers. The tunnel exhaled, long and satisfied. The child's feet finally touched the ground. "Oh," they said quietly. "That's my stop." A door appeared in the wall, simple, glowing faintly, like moonlight behind frosted glass. The child stood, suddenly more solid, more awake. "Thank you," they said, and stepped through. The door faded. The tunnel was quiet now. The caretaker smiled at a lantern almost dark. "You listen well." "What happens now?" Finn asked. "Now," the caretaker said, "the tunnel sleeps deeply." The lights dimmed to a soft amber glow. Jake was already curled up again, breathing slow. Finn lay back beside him. The stone beneath them felt warm. Above, the city rested. Below, the tunnel dreamed. And somewhere deep in the dark, the breathing continued, so faint it felt like your own. Sleepy cuties. In, out. Nothing else to do now. Finn dreamed, but he wasn't asleep. Not fully. He felt the tunnel around him, warmer now, steadier, like a huge animal curled up and resting. The platform lights barely glowed, and the air felt thick and calm, like a blanket tucked under his chin. Jake slept beside him, tail twitching once, then still. Then the tunnel shifted. Not suddenly, just a long, careful stretch. Finn opened his eyes. The tracks were gone. In their place flowed a slow, dark river, smooth as glass, reflecting tiny lights like distant stars. The platform had widened into a shore, stone polished by years of footsteps and waiting. "The tunnel's dreaming," Finn whispered. From the river rose a sound, glug, glug, soft and rhythmic, like bubbles breaking the surface. Something surfaced. Not frightening, gentle. A subway car, old, rounded with dim windows, floated like a boat. Its doors slid open without a sound. Inside sat figures made of shadow and light. Sleepers. Not bodies, memories. People nodding off after long days. Someone resting their head against a window. A pair of friends leaning into each other, breathing slow. The car drifted closer. Jake stirred, eyes opening just enough. "This is, extremely nap-approved." The caretaker appeared again, standing on the water as if it were solid ground. "This is where the tunnel takes what it cannot hold while awake," he said. "It sends them downriver, to rest." Finn felt the pull, not downward, but inward, like being invited to let go of a thought you've held all day. "Do they wake up?" Finn asked. The caretaker nodded. "Yes, lighter." The subway boat car drifted past, carrying the sleepers away. As it did, the river's surface smoothed even more until it was nearly still. Then Finn noticed something else. On the opposite shore sat a small figure, knees drawn to chest, rocking slightly. It looked like the tunnel itself, small, curled, breathing softly. "The tunnel's heart," Jake murmured, somehow knowing. The caretaker lowered his lantern. "It's afraid to sleep too deeply." Finn walked to the water's edge. "Why?" The caretaker's voice softened further. "It worries that if it rests, the city might forget it." Finn knelt, touching the river. It was warm. "You won't be forgotten," Finn said quietly. "You help everyone get where they're going." The small figure looked up, eyes glowing dimly. Jake shuffled closer, lying down near the edge, radiating warmth. "Also, you're really good at breathing." The tunnel heart's glow brightened. Its breathing slowed. The river faded. The tracks gently returned. The platform became solid again. The tunnel exhaled one long, peaceful breath. The caretaker smiled, lantern nearly dark. "That's enough for tonight." The world settled. Finn lay back down. Jake was already asleep again, smiling. The lights dimmed to almost nothing, just enough to know they were there. And far above, the city turned in its sleep. Finn woke again, not fully awake, not fully asleep. The platform was empty now. Soft lights glowed amber, reflecting faintly on the wet tiles. Every sound was muffled, softened, as if the walls themselves were wrapped in blankets. Jake yawned, stretching his body long and warm. "Man, this place is weirdly comfy for a subway." Finn nodded. "Yeah, it's like the tunnel is telling a bedtime story with echoes instead of words." A small sound floated toward them, a soft tapping like tiny footsteps. Finn tilted his head. From the shadows, a small creature emerged. Not human, not animal. Its body looked like smoke and dust, curling and fading at the edges. Its eyes glowed faintly like two distant subway lights. "I've been waiting," the creature whispered. Finn crouched down gently. "Waiting for what?" "For the tunnel to rest," it said. "It's tired, but it still cares about everyone who rides it." Jake plopped down beside Finn. "So, we help it relax?" The creature nodded. "Yes, just be kind and breathe with it." Finn closed his eyes. He matched his own breathing to the tunnel's rhythm. In and out. Slow, gentle, steady. Jake followed instinctively, stretching and curling, feeling the warm stone beneath him. The creature's glow pulsed in time with their breathing. Slowly, the tunnel seemed to sigh, a deep, comforting sound that made every corner of the station feel like home. Shadows shifted on the walls, forming images of passengers long gone. Someone asleep on a bench, a musician humming quietly, a lost traveler gazing at the ceiling. None of it felt sad. It felt safe, remembered, loved. Finn opened his eyes. "It's like the tunnel is alive." The creature smiled faintly. "It is. It listens. It remembers. And tonight, you helped it rest." The tunnel exhaled one last long breath. Dust floated in soft patterns like snow in a gentle wind. The creature faded into the air, leaving only a faint shimmer. Jake yawned deeply. "I think it likes us." Finn nodded. Finn and Jake walked slowly onto the old Brooklyn Bridge. The streets were quiet, almost empty, and the city lights shimmered gently off the water below. Jake stretched and yawned. "Man, the bridge feels alive tonight." Finn nodded. "Yeah, like it's listening." Above them, the cables hummed softly in the wind. Not loudly, not harshly. Just a gentle, comforting sound. Like a lullaby drifting through the night. A soft whisper echoed from the bridge itself. "Welcome, wanderers." Finn stopped. Did the bridge just talk?" Jake tilted his head. "Maybe it's a sleepy bridge." The whispers grew gentle, rhythmic. Words that weren't scary, just soft and melodic. "Sleep now. Drift slowly. The river watches kindly." Finn and Jake followed the bridge toward the center, where the wooden planks creaked ever so slightly under their feet. Each step made a tiny chime, like a music box echoing through the night. From beneath the bridge, the East River glimmered under the moonlight. Ripples moved slowly, reflecting the city's lights in dreamy, soft patterns. A figure appeared. Not human, not frightening. A glow hovering just above the planks, shaped like the spirit of the bridge itself. "I am the keeper of lullabies," it whispered. "I sing to the night, to calm travelers, to soothe the city." Jake yawned, curling his tail around his paws. "Oh, that's really nice." Finn smiled. "We can listen, right?" The keeper's glow pulsed in rhythm with the wind, and the bridge itself seemed to sway gently in time. Whispers floated from the cables, tiny lullabies that wrapped around Finn and Jake like a warm blanket. "You walk gently," the keeper said. "The city feels your steps, and so the bridge shares its lullabies with you." They walked slowly across, letting the sounds of the bridge and the soft murmurs of the river fill their minds. Every plank, every cable, every shadow became part of the music. Calm, soft, and kind. Finn leaned against a railing, looking down at the shimmering water. It's, peaceful. Like the bridge is keeping the city safe while everyone sleeps. Yes, the keeper whispered. And now, you are part of its song, too. Jake yawned again. I could nap here forever. The bridge hummed and whispered, weaving its lullaby around them. The city below rested. The river below shimmered. The night held them gently, rocking them closer to sleep. Sleepy cuties. The bridge sings softly. The river dreams gently. And you can drift completely into rest. Finn and Jake continued walking along the bridge, their footsteps soft against the wooden planks. Each step made a faint chime, echoing lightly across the cables, as if the bridge itself were breathing gently. The keeper of lullabies floated just ahead, a soft golden glow hovering above the planks. Its light pulsed slowly, like the rhythm of a heart, and every pulse carried whispers in the wind. Sleep now. Let the city dream. Drift slowly. All is safe. Jake stretched, letting his long body curl comfortably. Man, this bridge is the coziest. Who knew bridges could sing? Finn smiled, leaning against a railing to look down at the shimmering East River. It's like the whole city is tucking itself in for the night. The keeper gestured toward the cables above. Tiny threads of light ran along them, flickering softly. Every cable holds a lullaby, the keeper said. Every plank remembers a quiet step, a soft thought, a gentle wish. Wah. Finn stepped lightly, feeling the warmth of the wood beneath his feet. It's calming, like it knows exactly how to make you feel safe. The whispers floated through the night air, rhythmic and melodic. Jake yawned, curling up beside Finn. Okay. Officially sleepy bridge nap approved. They walked further to the center of the bridge where the wind was softer, carrying the gentle sounds of the city's far-off hum and the river's slow ripples. The keeper hovered just above the railing. Some nights, the keeper whispered, I sing for those who wander too late, for those who need a moment of peace. And tonight, I sing for you. Finn closed his eyes, letting the lullaby wash over him. The cables above pulsed in time with the whispers, the wooden planks underfoot vibrating softly, the bridge alive with quiet music. Jake murmured, almost asleep, This is better than a bedtime story. The keeper smiled, glowing brighter for a moment. Let the city, the bridge, and the river cradle you. Drift with them until the morning is near. Sleepy cuties. The bridge hums softly. The river whispers gently. And you can float deeper into dreams. Finn and Jake walked slowly toward the center of the bridge, the keeper of lullabies floating just ahead. The wooden planks beneath their feet creaked softly, each sound like a tiny bell. The cables above shimmered faintly, pulsing in rhythm with the whispers that floated on the wind. Drift slowly. The river remembers. The city dreams. All is calm. Jake flopped onto a plank, curling his tail around him. Man, I feel like the bridge is rocking me to sleep. Finn laughed softly, letting his hands rest on the railing. The city lights twinkled in the distance, reflected in the river below, and everything seemed softened by the gentle magic of the night. The keeper hovered near the edge, motioning toward the water. See the river? It whispered. It carries the city's quiet thoughts, little wishes, and soft dreams that need to drift safely through the night. Finn knelt slightly, watching the water shimmer in the moonlight. Tiny ripples glowed faintly as they moved like echoes of distant laughter. It's beautiful, Finn murmured. Yes, the keeper said. The bridge sings to them too, every cable, every plank. It hums and whispers, carrying the city's dreams safely until morning. Jake yawned, curling up closer to Finn. Best bridge nap vibes ever. A soft wind moved across the bridge, rustling the wooden planks and the cables, carrying the lullabies further into the night. The keeper's glow pulsed gently in time with the whispers, wrapping Finn and Jake in warmth and calm. "Close your eyes," the keeper said. "Listen to the bridge, the river, the city. Let the lullabies carry you deeper into rest." Finn leaned back against the railing. Jake snuggled beside him. The whispers floated around them, rhythmic and soft, weaving through the cables above and across the wooden planks. "Sleepy cuties." The bridge hums softly. The river ripples gently. And you can drift deeper into dreams. Finn and Jake continued walking along the bridge, their footsteps soft and careful. The wooden planks beneath them hummed faintly, each step like a note in a gentle melody. Above, the cables pulsed with a soft golden light, carrying the lullabies across the dark river below. "The bridge listens," the keeper whispered. "It knows when someone needs calm. It remembers each footstep, each quiet thought, and turns them into whispers of rest." Jake stretched and flopped onto the warm planks. "I think the bridge likes us," he mumbled sleepily. Finn smiled, leaning on the railing, looking down at the shimmering East River. "It's like the whole city is sleeping through us tonight. Just soft hums and quiet lights." The keeper floated closer, its glow warming the air around them. "The bridge sings to the night, to the river, and to travelers like you. Every sound, every shadow, a lullaby." They reached a small lookout in the middle of the bridge. The wind was softer here, carrying the faint scent of salt and moonlight from the river. The cables above stretched high into the night sky, twinkling faintly as the bridge's song pulsed through them. Finn closed his eyes. He could feel the rhythm of the bridge in his chest, a steady, gentle heartbeat, slow and soothing. The keeper hummed softly, a tune that wrapped around them like a warm blanket. "Let the city rest. Let the river dream. Let the bridge carry you into calm." Jake's eyes drooped, tail curling around his body. Yeah, perfect sleepy vibes. The whispers drifted down the cables, across the planks, over the river, touching every quiet corner of the park, the city, and the night. Finn and Jake lay down, letting the glow of the keeper wrap them in warmth and safety. Finn and Jake lay on the wooden planks in the middle of the bridge, the keeper of lullabies floating gently above them. The glow of the lantern-like light wrapped around them, casting soft, golden patches across the bridge's surface. "Dawn will arrive soon," the keeper whispered, "but there is still time to rest, to listen, to drift." Jake yawned deeply, curling up beside Finn. "I could nap here forever. Seriously." Finn smiled. "The bridge is the coziest place in the city at night. It listens and sings and keeps everything calm." The bridge hummed softly under their bodies, pulsing in perfect rhythm with the river below. The lullabies flowed along the cables, brushing past the lights and arches, echoing softly across the water. "Every step you've taken, every thought you've had, it's been remembered," the keeper said. "The bridge turns them into whispers, soft enough to soothe the city." Finn closed his eyes, letting the warmth of the glow sink into his chest. He could hear the faint echoes of footsteps long gone, soft laughter, whispers of quiet dreams, all blending with the bridge's gentle lullaby. Jake snuggled closer, tail wrapping around him. "This is, officially the softest bridge nap ever." The keeper's glow pulsed one last time, Rest now, friends. The city sleeps, the river dreams, and the bridge holds everything safely. You are part of its song. A soft breeze rustled across the planks, carrying the scent of water and early morning dew. Far below, the river shimmered like silver, reflecting the city's first hints of light. Finn and Jake lay quietly on the wooden planks in the middle of the bridge, the keeper of lullabies floating gently above them. The glow of the lantern-like light pulsed softly, wrapping them in warmth. "The city will wake soon," the keeper whispered. "But for now, the bridge sings its final lullabies. Rest and drift safely." Jake curled tighter against Finn, tail tucked around his paws. "I don't want to leave. It's too cozy." Finn smiled, closing his eyes. "We don't have to. Not yet. Let's stay with the bridge a little longer." The cables above shimmered faintly as the lullabies traveled along them. Each note felt like a soft caress, carrying away the day's noise, the worries, the restless thoughts. The river below reflected the golden glow and the first hints of dawn, shimmering slowly as if breathing. "You've walked gently across my planks," the keeper whispered. "The bridge remembers, the city remembers, and you are now part of its quiet song." Finn felt a wave of calm spread through him. The sounds of the city far away were soft, distant, comforting. Jake murmured, "Bridge nap, forever approved." The keeper floated closer, glowing softly. "Sleep now. The bridge, the river, and the city will keep you safe. All is calm. All is gentle. All is remembered." Finn and Jake lay fully still. The bridge hummed gently beneath them. The cables pulsed softly, and the river rippled lazily below. It started softly, as if the city itself had taken a deep breath. Times Square was quiet for the first time in forever. The giant screens dimmed their flashing lights, and the streets were empty except for the soft echoes of footsteps on the pavement. Finn and Jake wandered slowly into the heart of the square. Neon lights flickered faintly, casting soft, muted colors onto the ground. Above them, the stars peeked through small patches between towering buildings. "Whoa, it's really quiet," Finn whispered, letting his hat fall a little over his zazy eyes. Jake yawned and stretched. "Yeah, even the taxis seem to be napping tonight." Then it appeared, a fog. Not a normal fog. It was thick but soft, swirling with pastel colors like cotton candy spun from the city lights. Pink, blue, yellow, blending and curling slowly, moving through Times Square as if it had a mind of its own. Finn blinked. "That doesn't feel scary at all." "Nope," Jake said. "Feels cozy, like sugar or bubble gum, or a big comfy blanket." The fog rolled over them, tickling their noses with a sweet, gentle scent. Every inhale felt light, calm, and soothing. It wrapped the streets, the billboards, and even the old traffic lights in a soft haze of calm magic. From the mist emerged tiny shapes, figures made of the fog itself. They danced slowly, gliding through the square, their movements lazy and gentle. They didn't speak but hummed softly, a tune so sweet it felt like it belonged to the night itself. Finn and Jake followed the fog as it rolled toward the center of the square, moving like a gentle river made of candy-colored clouds. The lights reflected in its swirls, making it sparkle like sugar crystals under moonlight. "Do you think it, wants to play?" Finn asked. The fog pulsed softly as if nodding. Small trails of glittering mist wrapped around them, brushing against their shoulders like warm, sleepy hands. Jake chuckled. "I think it wants us to nap, in the most magical way possible." They found a small patch of empty pavement beneath a dim neon sign. The fog settled around them like a soft blanket, curling into gentle shapes that seemed to hum lullabies. Finn sat down, pulling his knees close, and Jake flopped beside him. Hey, the tiny fog shapes floated above them, pulsing in time with their breathing. Slowly, breathe. The city rests. Drift, drift. Finn smiled softly. It's like the city itself is singing to us. The fog continued to drift through the square, carrying the hum of Times Square long ago. It whispered memories of laughter, distant music, tiny wishes left on benches, soft footsteps of people who once wandered here late at night. You can feel all the stories, Finn whispered, like they're alive, but gentle. Jake yawned again, curling even closer. Best magical sugar fog ever. Above them, the billboards glowed faintly, muted by the candy-like mist. Neon letters shimmered through the fog, their colors soft and slow, like liquid dreams dripping across the city. The fog swirled in waves, wrapping Finn and Jake completely. It hummed a soft lullaby that echoed lightly off the buildings. Sleep now. The city remembers. The lights are soft. All is calm. Drift slowly. Finn closed his eyes. The pastel mist moved over him, brushing against his cheeks, making him feel like he was floating in a cloud made of sugar and starlight. Jake's tail twitched once, then he let out a long, happy sigh. Yep, officially sleep approved. The fog carried distant whispers from the city. The hum of a subway far below, the faint laughter of some long gone, the soft creak of a door closing in the night. All of it blended into a gentle symphony, safe and sweet. The candy-like fog shifted, forming tiny bridges over puddles, curling around street lamps, weaving through the quiet benches. Every shape seemed to want to lull the city and its visitors into calm, peaceful dreams. Finn felt the world slow down. The usual chaos of Times Square, the flashing lights, the shouting, the constant motion, was gone. In its place, softness, warmth, and gentle music that carried him closer to sleep with each passing moment. Jake murmured, I think even the taxis are sleeping in the fog. And above them, the fog whispered again, soft and melodic. Sleep, drift, the city dreams. Sugar clouds carry you. All is gentle. All is safe. Finn and Jake let themselves sink into the candy-colored mist, floating slowly, their breathing matching the soft rhythm of the night. The fog rolled on through Times Square, past the quiet theaters beneath the silent billboards. It was alive, but only in the calmest way. An enchanted blanket of pastel dreams carrying everything to rest. Finn and Jake wandered deeper into Times Square. The fog moved around them in slow, curling waves, brushing softly against their shoulders and tails. It smelled faintly of sugar and vanilla, like candy stores long closed, or the sweet calm of early morning dreams. The hum of the city was far away now, softened into whispers carried on the mist. Neon lights glimmered faintly through the pastel haze, their colors blending like watercolor in motion. This is so cozy, Jake murmured, curling up on the soft pavement. It's like the city tucked itself in with a blanket. Finn smiled, letting the fog wrap gently around him. It's magical, like the whole city is singing to us in whispers. The fog pulsed faintly, sending tiny ribbons of light swirling around them. And in those ribbons, tiny shapes danced, figures made of mist and sugar-colored light. They moved slowly, lazily, humming soft melodies that felt like lullabies meant only for the night. They're, friendly, Finn whispered. Like little fog spirits helping the city sleep. Yes, fog hummed back, softly, almost like words. Breathe slowly. Drift gently. All is calm. The city rests. You are safe. The pastel mist curled over benches, wound around lampposts, and glimmered across the cracks in the pavement. Every corner of Times Square seemed alive, but in the gentlest, softest way, like the city was dreaming itself into a calm slumber. Jake yawned, eyes half closed. I could nap forever here. The fog carried echoes of distant laughter and footsteps from long ago, weaving them into a lullaby. Finn felt the rhythm of the city slow down, its heartbeat soft and steady. Every sound, every flicker of neon, blended into the sugar-colored mist. The tiny fog figures twirled slowly above them, pulsing in time with Finn and Jake's breathing, brushing past them like warm, sleepy hands. You see? The fog whispered softly. The city is alive, but only in calm, only in gentle dreams. All of Times Square rests tonight. Finn closed his eyes, letting the pastel clouds wrap around him completely. Jake nestled beside him, tail curling warmly. The hums of the fog carried them both closer to sleep, a slow, melodic rhythm, soft as a heartbeat. Finn and Jake wandered further into the candy-colored fog. The bright lights of Times Square above were softened to gentle glimmers like lanterns floating through a dream. The streets were empty, yet the fog seemed alive, curling and twisting with a rhythm of its own. Tiny, glowing shapes appeared within the fog, like floating candy stars and pastel ribbons of light. They drifted lazily around Finn and Jake, brushing past their arms and shoulders like warm, sleepy hands. "There, little fog spirits," Finn whispered, watching the shapes swirl. "They're helping the city sleep." Yes, the fog seemed to hum back, soft as a lullaby. "Drift slowly. Breathe deeply. The city rests. You are safe. All is gentle." Jake yawned, tail curling around himself. "This is officially nap approved. Way better than any cozy blanket I've ever had." The fog moved through Times Square, covering benches, fountains, and even the edges of the subway entrances in soft pastel swirls. Every ripple of light hummed gently, echoing faint laughter, music, and whispers from nights long ago. Finn knelt on the pavement, letting a strand of fog curl over his hand. It glimmered faintly like sugar crystals. "It's like the city itself is singing to us," he said softly. "Yes," the fog hummed. "I carry the stories, the soft memories, the gentle moments, all wrapped in this pastel lullaby. And now, you are part of it too." Above them, the neon lights flickered faintly through the mist, their colors blending like watercolor into soft flowing shapes. The fog twisted around the towering signs, weaving them into slow, sleepy ribbons of light and color. Jake snuggled closer to Finn. "I can hear the city dreaming," he murmured. "It's beautiful." The fog pulsed softly, brushing against them in waves of warmth and calm. Every sound, the faint hum of distant trains, the soft creak of a sign swinging in the night breeze, blended perfectly with the lullaby of the mist. "Sleep now," the fog whispered, "and let the city, the lights, and the candy-colored clouds carry you into rest. Slow, gentle, safe." Finn leaned back, eyes closing. Jake's tail curled fully around him. The pastel fog swirled above and around them, drifting through the empty streets and alleys of Times Square, wrapping everything in calm. Finn and Jake wandered further under the candy-colored fog. Neon lights above shimmered faintly through the pastel mist, their bright colors softened to gentle, flowing glimmers like watercolor slowly blending in the night. Tiny glowing ribbons floated in the fog, twirling lazily around the two friends. Each ribbon hummed softly, pulsing in rhythm with the faint heartbeat of the city. Every pulse felt like a warm, sleepy embrace. Jake stretched, curling his tail around himself. Man, the fog is... Behind the counter stood a monster. Not a scary monster. No, this one was tall and round, with gentle eyes and soft green fur. Its smile was kind and its movements careful and slow, as if it didn't want to disturb anything, including the night itself. "Hello," the monster said softly. "Welcome to Midnight Slices. Would you like a slice?" Jake's eyes widened. "Whoa, it's friendly?" The monster nodded, its long arms moving gracefully as it pulled out a steaming pizza. The cheese glowed faintly under the soft lights, and steam rose like little clouds of comfort. "Everything here is made for sleepy nights," the monster said. "For wanderers who need a warm bite, or a little calm before sleep." Finn and Jake sat at a small table. The shop was quiet, filled with tiny glowing lights floating above the oven, the counter, and even in the corners. Each light pulsed gently, like the heartbeat of the shop itself. The monster hummed softly while sliding a slice in front of Finn. "Eat slowly. Enjoy the warmth, the comfort. All is gentle." Jake took a bite and sighed happily. "Man, this pizza is magical and cozy, like it hugs your stomach and your heart at the same time." Finn nodded, chewing slowly. "Even the shop, it's magical. I feel calm, safe, like the night itself wrapped us in a blanket." The monster moved quietly around the shop, tending the oven and arranging fresh slices. Every movement was careful, gentle, and slow. The lights floated in soft arcs above their heads, pulsing in rhythm with the monster's humming. "Some nights," the monster said softly, "I open the shop just for wanderers like you, to share warmth, light, and calm, to make sure the night feels safe." Finn smiled. "You do a really good job. Even the city outside feels calmer because of this place." Jake yawned, curling up on the chair. "I think even the tables and chairs are sleepy, like everything here wants to nap." The soft glow of the shop wrapped around them, and the faint hum of the oven, the monster's gentle humming, and the pulsing lights became a lullaby. Finn and Jake leaned back, eyes closing slightly, letting the warmth fill their bodies. "Sleepy cuties. The pizza smells warm. The shop hums softly. The monster moves gently. And you can drift slowly into calm, peaceful dreams. Good night." Finn and Jake sat at a small table in the corner of the midnight pizza shop. The warm glow of the hanging lanterns above them painted soft golden patches on the walls. Tiny lights floated in the air, like little fireflies that pulsed in time with the monster's gentle humming. The monster moved slowly behind the counter, stretching dough in the warm, soft light. Its movements were careful, graceful, as if it didn't want to disturb the calm of the night or the sleepy wanderer sitting at the table. "Do you bake all night?" Finn asked softly, his eyes half closed. "Yes," the monster replied, its voice warm and soothing. "The night is long, and sometimes the city's dreamers need a little warmth, a little calm, a little magic." Jake picked up a slice of pizza, his cheese glowing faintly in the soft light. "Man, even the pizza is like a hug for your stomach and your heart at the same time." The monster smiled gently, its fur shimmering faintly under the lanterns. "Every slice is made with care, and every slice carries the calm of the night." Finn leaned back in his chair, watching the tiny floating lights drift slowly above the counter. Even the shop, it's alive, in the softest way, like it remembers everyone who's ever been here and wants them to feel safe. Yes, the monster said softly, glancing at the lights. Every little hum, every floating glow, every soft shadow is part of the magic. It carries kindness and calm and rest. Jake yawned, curling up his tail on the chair. I think even the tables and chairs are sleeping, like they're all napping too. The soft hum of the oven blended with the monster's gentle humming, creating a slow, comforting rhythm. The warm glow of the shop and the faint scent of dough and melted cheese wrapped around Finn and Jake like a cozy blanket. Outside, the city was quiet. Streetlights flickered softly through the windows, casting gentle reflections across the wooden floor. The city hummed in the distance, but inside everything was calm, slow, and peaceful. The monster moved closer, carrying a small plate of freshly baked pastries, each glowing faintly in the warm light. These are for dreamers, it whispered. For wanderers who need comfort, who need calm, who need a little magic to drift into sleep. Finn reached for one, letting the warmth fill his hands. Jake nibbled slowly, letting the sweetness mingle with the soft hum of the shop. The lights floated around them in lazy spirals, pulsing softly. Every sound, the gentle hum of the oven, the monster's soft movements, the whisper of night outside blended into a lullaby. Finn and Jake leaned back, eyes closing slowly, letting the warmth of the shop and the kindness of the gentle monster wash over them. Sleepy cuties. The pizza smells warm. The shop hums softly. The monster moves gently, and you can drift slowly into calm, peaceful dreams. Finn and Jake wandered further into the shop. The faint glow of tiny floating lights illuminated a cozy corner where a few soft, empty booths waited patiently. Each booth seemed alive with quiet warmth, as if it remembered every customer who had ever sat there, every story shared over a warm slice of pizza. The monster moved behind the counter, humming softly. Its tall, furry form swayed gently as it prepared another pie. The dough stretched smoothly in its hands, glowing faintly under the soft light of the oven. Steam rose in lazy clouds, curling through the air like wisps of sleepy magic. Jake plopped onto a chair, tail curling around him. Man, even the air smells like comfort, like soft bread and dreams and calm. Finn leaned against the edge of a table, watching the monster carefully slide the pie into the oven. This place, it's like the whole night is wrapped up in a warm hug, like the city tucked in a corner just for us. The monster glanced over with gentle eyes. Every night I open the shop, I make sure the magic stays. For wanderers, for dreamers, for those who need a soft place to rest. Tiny, glowing shapes drifted lazily through the air, like floating slices of pizza, faint sparks of light, and soft, shimmering dust motes. They twisted slowly around the tables, pulsing in rhythm with the soft hum of the oven and the monster's gentle breathing. Finn reached out and let a tiny light swirl through his fingers. It tickled softly, warm and comforting. Even the lights, they feel alive and kind. Yes, the monster said softly. They carry the calm of the night, the safety of warm kitchens, and the gentle hum of friendship. Jake yawned, curling up his paws on the chair. I feel sleepy, like the whole shop is singing me a lullaby. The faint sound of the city outside barely reached them. The distant hum of traffic, the whisper of wind against buildings, it all blended with the warm glow and gentle hums inside the shop. Finn and Jake leaned back, letting the magic and warmth sink deep into their bodies. The monster moved closer with the tray of tiny desserts, each glowing faintly. For those who need sweetness and calm and a little sleepy magic, it whispered. Eat slowly, enjoy, drift, rest. Finn and Jake shared the treats, letting the flavors mingle with the warmth and soft light of the shop. Every bite felt like a hug. Every glow, every hum, every puff of steam carried them deeper into calm. Finn and Jake followed the gentle monster through a narrow hallway at the back of the pizza shop. Tiny lights floated above their heads, twisting in soft spirals, pulsing with a golden warmth. Each glow seemed alive, carrying whispers of laughter, quiet conversations, and gentle memories of nights long past. This place, even the hallways feel calm, Finn whispered. Like the lights are holding the night still. Jake yawned, curling his tail around himself. Yeah, it's like walking through a soft dream. The monster led them into a small room tucked behind a velvet curtain. Inside, soft pillows and blankets covered the floor, and tiny floating lights formed lazy arcs across the ceiling. The air smelled faintly of warm dough, vanilla, and a touch of sweet caramel. Soft, cozy, comforting. Sometimes, the monster said gently, wanderers need more than pizza. They need a quiet corner, a place where the night can lull them to rest. Finn sank onto a pillow, letting the gentle glow wrap around him. Jake plopped down beside him, curling into a tight, sleepy ball. The tiny lights drifted around them like slow, glowing fireflies, pulsing softly in rhythm with their breathing. The monster hummed a low, comforting tune, each note soft enough to feel like a hug. The lights pulsed in response, tiny waves of warmth moving slowly across the room. Finn and Jake felt the tension of the day or even the city melt away. Even the walls feel kind, Finn murmured, letting the soft glow wash over him. Like they remember everyone who ever rested here and want us to feel safe too. Yes, said the monster softly. Every night, every wanderer, every soft sigh is part of the magic. I keep it here, glowing, for calm, for rest, for dreams. Jake yawned again, eyes half closed. I think even the pillows are sleepy, like they know we need a nap. The tiny lights circled above them in slow arcs, creating patterns of comfort. Faint hums from the kitchen mixed with the soft glow, forming a lullaby that wrapped the shop in warmth. Outside, the city hummed quietly, far away, but inside, the night seemed endless and safe. Finn lay back, letting the warmth of the pillows, the glowing lights, and the monster's humming carry him closer to sleep. Jake nestled beside him, tail wrapped tightly. Sleepy cuties, the pizza shop glows softly. The monster hums gently. The night drifts quietly. And you can drift deeper into calm, peaceful dreams. Finn and Jake settled back into their cozy corner of the midnight pizza shop. The gentle monster moved quietly behind the counter, sliding a fresh, warm pizza onto a tray. The cheese glowed faintly in the soft lantern light, and steam rose lazily, curling like gentle clouds in the calm night air. Even the pizza smells like a hug, Jake murmured, curling his tail around himself. Warm, soft, magical. Finn smiled, letting the warm glow wash over him. The shop, even the oven, everything here. It's like it's singing a lullaby just for us. The monster hummed softly while arranging tiny desserts on the counter. Each treat glowed faintly, pulsing in rhythm with the floating lights and the monster's gentle movements. For wanderers who need calm, for dreamers who need warmth, for those who need a soft place to rest, it whispered. Jake picked up a small glowing pastry and nibbled slowly, savoring the warmth and sweetness. Finn followed with a slice of pizza, letting the soft light from the floating fireflies dance across his hands. The tiny glowing lights drifted lazily around them, pulsing like gentle heartbeats. The hum of the oven and the soft melody of the monster's humming blended into a slow, soothing rhythm, a lullaby made of warmth, glow, and calm. Finn leaned back, letting the magic of the shop sink deep into his body. Even the city outside feels soft from here, he whispered. Yes, the monster said gently. Every night the city sleeps, and I keep this little corner alive, glowing, calm, safe, so wanderers can rest. Jake yawned, curling up fully. I think even the chairs and tables are sleepy. Like everything here wants to nap too. Finn let his eyes close. The warmth of the glowing lights, the soft hum of the shop, and the gentle presence of the friendly monster carrying him toward sleep. Sleepy cuties. The pizza smells warm. The shop hums softly. The monster moves gently. The lights glow warmly, and you can drift slowly into calm, peaceful dreams. Sleepy cuties. The night is almost gone. The city outside hums quietly. Your body is heavy. Your thoughts float, gentle, slow. The pizza shop breathes softly, carrying warmth, carrying calm. Finn and Jake lay quietly in their corner of the midnight pizza shop. The tiny floating lights swirl lazily above them, pulsing with a golden, sleepy rhythm. Each glow carried the memories of nights long past. Quiet laughter shared over pizza, the soft hum of an oven, the warmth of friendship, and the gentle comfort of a world that slows down just for those who need rest. The monster moved softly behind the counter, tending the oven, sliding a final tray of warm slices and glowing pastries into place. Its movements were slow, careful, and tender, like a lullaby made visible. The warmth of the oven, the soft scent of baked dough, and the pulsing glow of the shop wrapped Finn and Jake in a blanket of calm. Even the first light of morning feels gentle here, Finn whispered. Like the night doesn't want to leave us yet. Yes, the monster murmured. The night lingers, and the warmth of the shop carries every wanderer, every dreamer, into peaceful sleep. Tiny glowing lights drifted around them, weaving lazy patterns in the air. They circled the tables, swirled through the air above the ovens, and shimmered around the friends as they sank deeper into relaxation. Every pulse of light felt like a heartbeat, slow, steady, comforting. Jake yawned deeply, tail curling around him like a soft, furry blanket. I think even the walls are smiling, like they're happy we're resting here. The monster smiled softly, eyes gentle and warm. I keep this magic, this calm, this glow, for nights like this, for wanderers who need warmth, kindness, and soft comfort, for those who need to drift safely into dreams. Finn stretched on the soft rug, letting the glowing warmth wash over him completely. Every sound, the hum of the oven, the faint flutter of the floating lights, the soft breath of the monster, blended into a gentle lullaby. Even the distant city outside seemed quieter, slower, as if the shop had wrapped the world in a soft, sleepy hug. The monster came to their side, placing a final glowing pastry on the table. His voice was barely a whisper. Sleep now. All is safe. All is warm. All is calm. Let the night carry you, and drift, drift, drift into dreams. Finn closed his eyes. Jake's eyelids drooped. The warm glow of the lights, the hum of the oven, the gentle presence of the friendly monster, all of it pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat that matched their own. The night outside began to pale, soft hints of dawn brushing the rooftops, but inside the shop the warmth lingered. The floating lights pulsed one last slow rhythm, then began to fade gently, leaving a soft golden glow that wrapped Finn and Jake in final comfort. Sleepy cuties. The pizza shop hums softly. The monster moves gently. The lights glow faintly. The night drifts slowly. The city rests quietly outside. And you can drift fully into deep, calm, peaceful sleep. Finn and Jake lay still, breathing slowly, wrapped in warmth, glow, and gentle magic. The shop exhaled its last lullaby, and the morning light crept softly into the corners, blending with the fading glow, carrying them and the listener completely into dreams. Good night. Finn and Jake walked carefully along the snowy streets of New York. Every rooftop was dusted with fresh snow, sparkling softly under the pale light of the moon. The streets were silent, muffled by the thick blanket of white. Suddenly, Finn noticed movement above. On a distant rooftop, a shadow shifted. A creature, a gentle, towering figure with soft fur and luminous eyes, stood there watching the city below. "Whoa," Finn whispered. "It's huge, but it doesn't look scary." Jake tilted his head. "Yeah, it's kind of cozy, like it's watching over the city." The creature raised one long arm slowly and waved. Its eyes glowed faintly like lanterns, warm and soft. Snow swirled around it in gentle spirals, catching the glow and scattering tiny sparks of light across the rooftops. "It's magical," Finn said softly, "like the snow is dancing for it." The creature began to move gracefully across the rooftops. Its large feet barely made a sound, leaving faint impressions in the snow. Every movement was careful, slow, and deliberate, like it was walking through a dream. Jake yawned. "Man, even the rooftops feel calm, soft, sleepy." Finn watched as the creature paused on the edge of a tall building. It reached out with its glowing hands, catching snowflakes and letting them drift lazily into the night. Each snowflake seemed to glow faintly, turning the falling snow into tiny sparks of light. "It's, helping the city sleep," Finn whispered. "Like it's tucking the rooftops in with snow." "Yes," a soft, echoing voice seemed to hum through the air. "I watch over the sleeping streets. I guide the snow. I carry calm through the night. I keep the city safe in quiet magic." Jake curled up in the soft snow on the street below. "I could nap here forever. The snow and the creature, they're cozy." The creature continued its slow journey across the rooftops, leaving trails of sparkling snow behind. It paused to peek down at Finn and Jake, its glowing eyes gentle and warm. Then it tilted its head as if to say, "Rest easy. The night is safe. The city dreams." Finn smiled, letting the cold night air feel soft and calm against his face. Even the shadows, even the rooftops, everything feels like a gentle hug. The snow fell steadily, lightly, carrying whispers of distant footsteps, soft laughter, and the faint hum of the city, all blending into a slow lullaby. Finn and Jake felt their eyelids grow heavy, the warmth of their hearts mixing with the magic of the snowy night. Sleepy cuties, the snow drifts softly. The creature moves slowly. The rooftops shimmer quietly. The city sleeps beneath the moon. And you can drift fully into calm, peaceful dreams. Finn and Jake followed the creature as it moved gracefully across the rooftops. Its large, soft feet barely made a sound, and the snow under them sparkled faintly, as if remembering each step. The city below was quiet, muffled under a thick blanket of fresh snow, and every distant streetlight glimmered softly through the night. Man, even the snow feels alive, Jake whispered. It's sparkling, glowing, like it's dancing for us. Finn nodded. Yeah, the creature. It's not scary. It's like a guardian of the night, making sure the city sleeps safely. The creature paused on a tall rooftop, eyes glowing gently like lanterns. It lifted one massive hand and caught a drifting snowflake. The flake glimmered faintly in its palm, spinning slowly before floating away into the soft night. Each flake seemed to carry a tiny spark of warmth, leaving the air around it calm, quiet, and cozy. A soft, echoing hum filled the air, like the city itself was sighing in contentment. Sleep, drift, rest. The streets are safe. The rooftops shimmer. The night carries you. Jake yawned, curling his tail around himself. I feel so calm, like the snow is a warm blanket and the creature is tucking us in. Finn leaned back against the pillow wall on the rooftop, letting the snow crunch softly beneath him. The creature moved forward slowly, leaving a trail of shimmering footprints behind it. Each step seemed to hum with a gentle lullaby, carrying warmth into the cold night. The wind drifted past, soft and quiet, carrying faint echoes of laughter and distant footsteps. Even the city sounds, the far-off subway, the occasional hum of a car felt softened by the snow, turning everything into a gentle melody. The creature stopped again and looked down at Finn and Jake, its glowing eyes warm and kind. It tilted its head slowly as if whispering, "Rest easy. The city dreams. The night is safe. You are safe." Finn smiled, closing his eyes slightly. Even the shadows feel kind, like the night itself is hugging us. The snow continued to drift gently, each flake sparkling faintly in the creature's glow. Finn and Jake felt their bodies relax, hearts warm, and minds drifting slowly, carried by the magic of the snowy night and the gentle guardian on the rooftops. Sleepy cuties. The snow drifts softly. The creature moves slowly. The rooftops shimmer quietly. The city sleeps beneath the moon. And you can drift deeper into calm, peaceful dreams. The snow drifts gently. The city hums faintly beneath the rooftops. Your body is warm. Your thoughts float, soft, slow, cozy. Finn and Jake followed the creature as it moved gracefully across the snow-covered rooftops. Each step left a glowing imprint in the snow, faintly shimmering with the warmth of the creature's magic. The moon hung low in the sky, casting pale silver light that mixed with the creature's gentle glow. "Look at that," Finn whispered. "Even the chimneys are sparkling, like the snow itself is alive tonight." Jake yawned, tail curling around himself. "Yeah, it's like the rooftops are whispering, rest easy, calm, slow." The creature paused on a tall rooftop that overlooked a quiet park. Snow-covered trees shimmered faintly in the moonlight. It lifted one massive hand and let a few glowing snowflakes drift into the air. The flakes danced slowly, each one sparkling softly, before settling on the branches below, leaving a trail of gentle light in the snow. "Whoa," Finn murmured. "It's like the snow itself is a sleepy lullaby." The soft hum of the creature seemed to mix with the faint sounds of the city. Even distant traffic and subway rumbles were softened by the thick snow, turning into a gentle melody of calm. Finn and Jake let their breathing slow, feeling their muscles relax, letting the warmth of the creature's presence fill the chilly air. The creature moved again, gliding silently across rooftops. Its glowing eyes scanned the city below, watching over sleeping streets, silent parks, and glowing windows. Each movement was careful and deliberate, like it wanted to make sure every corner of the city was safe for the night. Jake murmured sleepily, "Even the shadows. They feel, soft, like the city is wrapped in a warm blanket." Finn nodded, resting against the low wall. "Yeah, it's magical. Like the night itself is breathing slow, calm, safe." The creature paused near a rooftop garden, a small patch of snow-covered plants glowing faintly in the moonlight. It lowered a massive hand, letting snowflakes fall slowly through its fingers. Each flake shimmered as it drifted down, carrying whispers of comfort. "Sleep, rest, dream. You are safe. The night is calm." Finn and Jake watched the flakes fall, sparkling faintly as they landed. The snow made soft little puffs as it touched the roofs, each sound gentle and rhythmic, like tiny notes in a lullaby. Finn leaned back, closing his eyes, letting the glow of the snow and the creature's warmth sink deep into his body. The wind whispered softly around them, carrying faint echoes of laughter and distant footsteps from people dreaming in warm apartments. The soft crunch of snow under the creature's feet, the gentle hum from its glowing body, and the sparkling snowfall blended into a symphony of calm, perfect for sleepy hearts. The creature glanced at Finn and Jake, tilting its head slowly as if to say, "Rest now. The rooftops are safe. The snow carries calm. The night hums gently. All is warm. All is cozy." Jake yawned again, curling up fully into a ball, letting the snow sparkle around him. Finn lay back beside him, letting the gentle glow of the creature and the drifting snow fill his senses with warmth and calm. "Sleepy cuties." The snow drifts softly. The rooftops shimmer gently. The creature hums quietly. The city rests beneath the moon, and you can drift fully into calm, peaceful dreams. Finn and Jake carefully followed the gentle creature as it moved further across the snowy rooftops. Every step left a faint, glowing footprint in the snow, like a soft trail of starlight. The snowflakes twirled around them lazily, catching the creature's warm glow and scattering gentle sparkles across the rooftops. Jake yawned, tail curled around himself. "Man, even the chimneys and skylights, they all feel calm, sleepy." Finn nodded, eyes half closed. "Yeah, the creature is like a guardian of the night, making the whole city safe and cozy." They reached a quiet rooftop garden dusted with soft snow. Tiny lights floated among the branches of bare trees and bushes, pulsing slowly like gentle fireflies. The creature lowered one massive hand, letting glowing snowflakes drift from its fingers. Each flake shimmered as it fell, leaving tiny sparkles in its wake, turning the garden into a soft, magical winter wonderland. "It's beautiful," Finn whispered, "like the snow itself is singing a lullaby." The creature hummed softly, a warm, low sound that echoed faintly across the rooftops. The sound seemed to blend with the soft crunch of snow under its feet, the gentle drifting of snowflakes, and the faint hum of the sleeping city. Finn and Jake felt their eyelids grow heavy, letting the rhythm carry them closer to rest. Jake curled up into a tight ball, leaning against the low wall. Even the shadows, even the streetlights, everything feels warm, cozy, sleepy. Finn let the glow of the creature and the softly falling snow wash over him. The snowflakes sparkled faintly as they landed, each one whispering a soft, gentle message. "Sleep, rest. The night is safe. The rooftops shimmer. All is calm. All is warm." The creature moved slowly along the rooftop edge, pausing occasionally to watch over the city. Its glowing eyes were gentle and kind, radiating warmth into the cold night air. Every time it exhaled, tiny snow clouds shimmered softly, adding to the quiet magic of the scene. Finn and Jake felt the warmth and calm wrap around their bodies, blending with the cozy magic of the snow and the creature's presence. Every inhale carried the soft scent of winter air mixed with faint hints of warm wood and glowing magic. Even the city feels like it's sleeping, Finn murmured. Everything is soft, quiet, safe. The creature paused again, letting snowflakes drift slowly from its fingers, spinning gently into the air. The glowing lights pulsed with the soft rhythm of its breathing, creating a slow, comforting lullaby. Finn and Jake lay down gently, letting their bodies sink into the soft blanket of snow, snowflakes sparkling faintly around them. Finn and Jake followed the gentle creature to a wider rooftop where the city stretched out in soft, sparkling snow. Streetlights glowed faintly, reflecting off icy patches and snowdrifts, while the creature's warm glow mixed with the moonlight to fill everything with sleepy magic. Man, even the streets look soft, Jake whispered, curling his tail around himself. Like the snow is tucking the city in. Finn nodded, leaning against the low edge of the roof. Yeah, the creature. It's like a guardian, making sure everything sleeps safely. The creature paused, raising its massive, glowing hands. Snowflakes drifted gently from its fingertips, spinning slowly in the air. They sparkled faintly, catching the moonlight and casting tiny glimmers across the rooftops. Finn reached out a hand to touch one. It melted softly on his skin, leaving a warm, comforting tingle. The creature's soft hum mingled with the faint, distant sound of the city, the muffled rumble of a subway, the quiet clink of a street lamp, the whisper of wind through bare branches. Everything blended into a slow, gentle lullaby. Jake yawned deeply, pressing his head against Finn's shoulder. Even the shadows, even the chimneys, everything feels cozy, like it wants us to nap. The creature moved slowly along the rooftop, leaving faint, glowing footprints in the snow. Finn and Jake watched them fade softly, sparkling just enough to make a tiny path of magic behind it. Each step seemed to whisper, rest, sleep. The city is calm. You are safe. All is warm. Snowflakes continued to drift lazily from the sky, each one catching the creature's glow. The creature bent down, letting a few flurries settle gently around Finn and Jake, wrapping them in a soft, sparkling blanket of magic. Finn closed his eyes, letting the warmth of the snow, the glow of the creature, and the gentle hum of the night fill him completely. Jake curled up beside him, tail wrapped tightly, letting the sleepy magic wash over him. Even the rooftops, even the night, feel like a hug, Finn murmured. Everything is calm, safe, cozy. The creature paused on to watch them, eyes glowing softly, and hummed a slow, tender note. The lights of its body pulsed gently, blending with the floating snowflakes and the shimmering rooftops. The city below seemed quieter, softer, slower, as if it were breathing in rhythm with the creature. Sleepy cuties. The snow drifts softly. The rooftops glow faintly. The creature hums gently. The city sleeps beneath the moon. And you can drift fully into calm, peaceful dreams, sleepy cuties. The snow falls slowly. The rooftops glimmer softly. The city breathes quietly beneath the winter blanket. Your body is heavy and warm. Your thoughts drift, gentle, slow, cozy. Finn and Jake lay on a soft patch of snow atop a wide rooftop. Tiny snowflakes drifted around them, catching the faint glow of the gentle creature's luminous eyes. Each flake sparkled softly before melting into warmth like little whispers of calm and magic. The creature moved slowly beside them, humming a low, comforting melody that seemed to blend with the soft hush of snow falling across the city. Every step it took left the faint shimmer in the snow, fading slowly like a lullaby written across the rooftops. Even the city feels sleepy, Finn murmured. Everything is quiet, soft, safe. Jake's tail curled around himself tightly. Yeah, it's like the snow and the creature are tucking us in, wrapping us in magic. The creature paused, raising its massive, glowing hands. Snowflakes drifted down in slow, lazy spirals, catching the glow and scattering tiny sparks across the rooftops. The air smelled faintly of winter, fresh snow, soft pine, and warm earth, and each breath felt soothing, calm, and gentle. It's time to rest, the creature whispered softly, its voice low and comforting. The city sleeps. The rooftops shimmer. You are safe. The night carries you, as the snow hums with calm. Finn closed his eyes, letting the warmth of the glowing creature and the soft blanket of snow envelop him completely. Jake curled even tighter, tail tucked around him, breathing slowly, letting the magic of the snowy night carry him into deeper sleep. The floating snowflakes twirled slowly, their faint glow pulsing in rhythm with the creature's hum. The rooftops shimmered softly under the pale moonlight, and every distant sound of the city, the muffled rumble of a train, the whisper of wind through the streets, was softened by snow, blending perfectly into a gentle lullaby. The creature lowered its head, glowing eyes warm and kind, and whispered one final gentle message. Sleep now. All is safe. All is calm. All is warm. The city dreams. The night holds you. Drift, drift, drift into peaceful dreams. Finn and Jake let their bodies sink fully into the snow, warmth and glow surrounding them. The creature's soft hum faded slowly, blending with the gentle patter of drifting snow. The rooftops pulsed faintly one last time, then settled into quiet shimmer. Outside, the first hints of dawn began to brush the skyline soft and pale. But atop the rooftops, in the snow and glow, Finn and Jake and the listener were already deep in calm, peaceful sleep. Sleepy cuties. The snow falls slowly. The rooftops shimmer faintly. The creature hums softly. The city sleeps quietly beneath the moon. And you can drift fully into deep, warm, restful dreams. Good night. Finn and Jake wandered through a quiet park in New York. The city around them was hushed, bathed in silver moonlight. Snow or soft mist dusted the sidewalks, and the faint hum of the distant city felt like a gentle lullaby. Ahead, they noticed a statue on a small pedestal bathed in moonlight. It was a tall figure carved from stone, its features gentle and kind. The statue's eyes seemed to glow faintly like tiny lanterns, and it held its hands in a welcoming gesture, as if inviting anyone nearby to rest. Whoa, Finn whispered. It's like it's alive, but soft, kind. Jake tilted his head. Yeah, it's watching over us, but not scary. Cozy, even. The statue seemed to breathe softly in the moonlight. Finn and Jake stepped closer, noticing faint, shimmering lights hovering around its base. Each light felt like a lost dream, tiny flickers of memory, hope, and quiet wishes that had wandered through the city, waiting to be found. Look at those, Finn said. They're glowing, like little sleepy stars. Jake yawned, tail curling around him. I think the statue is keeping them safe, tucking them in, like a gentle guardian of dreams. The statue slowly shifted, Or maybe it was the magic of the lights, but its eyes glowed warmer, welcoming. Tiny whispers drifted through the air. Sleep, rest. Dreams are safe. You are held. All is calm. All is warm. Finn sat down on the soft grass nearby. Jake curled up beside him. The floating lights drifted lazily, circling the statue and them in a slow, comforting dance. Each flicker pulsed softly, like a heartbeat carrying warmth and calm. The city beyond the park seemed quieter here, muffled by the soft glow of the statue and its dreamlike companions. Streetlights reflected off the puddles on the paths, adding gentle flickers of color to the shadows. Finn and Jake felt their breathing slow, letting the soft magic wash over them. Even the shadows, even the park benches, feel safe, Finn murmured, like the statue is keeping everything cozy. The statue extended one faintly glowing hand, and a tiny dreamlight floated from the air into its palm. It pulsed gently, then drifted slowly toward Finn and Jake, wrapping them in warmth. Each flicker whispered soft messages. Dream, rest, drift, calm, safe, held. Jake yawned again, curling tighter. Yep, best, cozy, sleepy, magic ever. Finn leaned back against the soft grass, letting the gentle glow of the statue, the drifting lights, and the quiet city carry him closer to sleep. The statue hummed faintly, soft, warm, unbroken, a lullaby for anyone who had wandered lost or weary. Sleepy cuties. The statue glows softly. The dream lights circle gently. The city sleeps quietly. And you can drift fully into calm, peaceful dreams. The city hums faintly. The park is quiet beneath the soft moonlight. Your body feels warm and heavy. Your thoughts drift, gentle, slow, cozy. Finn and Jake wandered closer to the statue, the glowing lights floating softly around its base. Each light seemed alive, flickering faintly like tiny stars caught in slow motion. They drifted lazily, pulsing with warmth, as if carrying the soft sighs and gentle dreams of people who had wandered through the city long ago. Man, these lights, they feel alive, Jake whispered, like they're whispering, calm, safe, sleep. Finn nodded, letting the magic of the park wash over him. Yeah, the statue. It's like a guardian, watching over lost dreams, making sure everyone rests safely. The statue's eyes glowed faintly, warm and steady, like two lanterns holding the soft night in their light. The figure didn't move quickly. It shifted ever so slightly, as if breathing with the city, slow and calm. A soft breeze drifted through the park, carrying the faint scent of winter air, wet earth, and soft grass. The dream lights swirled lazily around Finn and Jake, brushing against their cheeks like tiny, gentle whispers. Each one pulsed softly,